Hi there, my name is Philip and I am CEO of Pixel Soup. For the last year or two, about 18 months or so, we've been working on a sequence of projects, a series of games called Spraoi School. And Spraoi is the Irish word for fun. And the whole idea of Spraoi School is to have fun and learn at the same time. So we're particularly excited today. We have had a great success. We had our first user acceptance testing using what you call a Tobii Eye Tracker. This actually tracks a user's eye movement as they play the game. Our first game in the series is Symmetry School, and I'm going to show it to you now actually on the video here behind me. I'm going to talk over it as you see it, just to explain what's going on, because what's happening is there's about two layers. One layer is the game itself, and the second layer is the actual eye tracking movement and the graphics that are laid over the game to show you where the user's eyes have gone. So let me just show it to you, and probably better off to explain it that way. So our first tester today is Emma, and Emma is age 10, and Emma will be testing Symmetry School using the Tobii Eye Tracker. Emma is a first-time user and she has never seen Symmetry School before. I'm just going to pause the game here to just explain a little bit about what's required here and what's going on. In the center stage we've got a grid, and that grid is split down the middle by a line of symmetry. On the right hand side of that grid you have a pre-populated set of counters and colours. These are yellow, blues and greens, and on the left hand side of the grid it's empty. Now off the grid completely, underneath the show me button there, you have a bunch of loose counters. Those counters need to be placed on the left hand side of the grid, matching the pattern that's on the right hand side of the grid. So very simply, to give you an example, in the top right hand corner of the grid you will see a yellow counter, very far top right corner, while on the left hand side there, which is empty, a yellow counter needs to be put in the top left hand corner. Okay, so on and so forth. So that's the game itself. Now you'll also notice that there are three smaller red dots with attached by a thin line in the center area of the stage of that grid. These are representative of Emma's eye movement. So you'll see these throughout the game, and they'll be darting around left, right and center. So you gotta keep an eye on them, because it is indicative of where Emma is looking when she's playing the game, and measuring up one side of the line of symmetry with the other, calculating and working out where to place the counters. So I'm going to play it now. Enough of me talking, and I'll talk to you in shortly. So just press and play here. You can see that Emma is looking at the first two lines of instructions. Now bear in mind, this is her first time player. Emma has never seen this interface before or played this game before and doesn't know anything about it, hasn't read anything about it at all. So what she's going to do is she's going to just figure out herself. She hasn't read the instructions, you can see, and the hint has popped up, but she's only really read the first couple of lines of it, or words of it. So you can see her measuring on the right hand side of the grid, and at the moment she's picking up the counters and popping them onto the right hand side of the grid, which really is incorrect. She needs to drop them onto the empty left hand side of the grid. Now this is a eureka moment here, where she measures the two blue ones in the middle there on the right hand side, and she drops it in, and that's it. So she's figured that out, she works it out, and she's then got it. You're on a home run from here, where she's continuously measuring up the right hand side, you can see there, and then mapping it back to the left hand side. So bottom yellow there on the right hand side, and it goes into the bottom yellow on the left. Top yellow right hand side, top left. Blue, and you can see her mapping back and forth from the right to the left hand side, populating it, and that's it. So that was little to no instructions. There is a show me button, but Emma chose not to use it, and this is the last counter being placed here. So straight away you get the results, and you can try again as well. Just to explain the summary screen here on the results. The target moves that Emma could have done that puzzle in was 13. Her moves in this particular case were 17, and her time on it was 1 minute 23 seconds. Now Emma has the choice then to try that same puzzle again, see if she can get her moves down a bit or her time down, or she can play a new game. play a completely different game. And on the iPad version of this, on the App Store, we've got another version, another module that allows you to email this result to your parent or your teacher as a homework module. So it fits snugly into the actual iPad and the tablet version. So staying with Emma for a moment, Emma now moves on to the Reflective Symmetry medium level. And the difference between this and the easy level, is straight away you notice that there's an additional line of symmetry. So previously we had a vertical line of symmetry, and now we've got a horizontal line of symmetry. And you can see straight away that Emma is just mapping them from the right hand side over onto the left hand side, and choosing them from the bunch of loose counters on the left hand side, and doing it at ease. There's no real difficulties here at all, particularly after cracking the last conundrum with the easy level. What is different though in this is you'll notice that there is an extra shape. Previously we had just circular shapes and 3 colours. In this particular round, on the medium, we have 2 shapes. We've got squares and circles, and we also have an additional colour, so we've got 4 colours in total on this. Now, just to go back to the screen here, you'll notice Emma's eye is moving around from right to left on the grid, and this is because she's measuring up where she's put the items and to see if they're all correct, because she knows she's not finished, but because you've got a bunch of loose counters off the board there that need to be placed on the board. So she hasn't read the instructions again, she just dives straight into it. So there's going to be a moment here at some point where she needs to take a counter and try and place it somewhere, and possibly make a couple of mistakes to try and get this right. Now there she is moving back to the instructions to read the instructions. So let's see what happens. There's the line of symmetry on the right hand side. She just read that line there. So it's beginning to dawn and come to terms with the fact that there's an additional line of symmetry here. So let's see what happens. She's got a blue counter there. Okay. And let's see where she tries to place it. Okay. Okay, she's tried to place it in the top left hand corner. Now that would that's not exactly a mirror line, that's kind of taking exactly what's below it and mapping it up, as opposed to now she's actually put it in the right moment. So she's actually using that line of symmetry there to mirror it above on the top part of the actual grid, the top 2 quadrants. So from here it's a case of just populating the grid and working out and counting the counters down below. Okay. You may notice just as well on the red dots, some of the red dots are quite small, and some of the red dots can get quite big. There was a big one just there. Yeah, just there you go. What I'm referring to in this is the longer that Emma stays in one area, keeps her eye in one area, the more she's concentrating and working on where to put the counter. So the red dot, the size of the red dot is indicative of the time that she spent in that area looking at it. So the bigger it is, the longer she's focused in that area. So let's see now. She's just got to finish that top right quadrant and see what happens here. Okay, again she's counting it here. So yeah, that's it, straight in. Okay. And there we have the summary screen again, where Emma could have had her target moves are 24, and she could have completed the puzzle in 24 moves. Her moves were 35, and then she has the option to try again that same puzzle or play an entirely new game. And that's it. We'll be back probably tomorrow. We have some further results on the Tobii Eye Tracker on rotational hard levels with rotatable shapes within the grid itself. It gets very, very interesting. Talk to you then. Take care.